Ain't Dr. Domfeh, our senior economist, in fact, we're a lecturer, PhD holder, we're criticizing John Mahama. Any at all for the far as dollar depreciation, air concern, none so a near my boy on the market, as a Gina, we're exposing NDC government. My man to Muno Chirawaja Amame. Our comment section. I have Penyah Block Media. Mess was a demo. Obey like video, not that my subscribe button, snap back like a notification corner for the test update. Now, better Chirawaja and Amame. Our comment section. That's also best for no shape for any be ashe. And you know, when it comes to Ghana here, 25 you know, dollar has faced a constant, depreciation. And yes, a constant Caribbean na asaba from, and you know, Nina ye sika government to air pump with the aid of Bank of Ghana, omu pump into the forex market just to keep the dollar coming down. Sika we nyina kibeti na aye nyuma bebrebe ni ade. But upon all this, inflation rate above from, because inflation moving from 2024, that is 23% now, abedru 9%, single digit, figure, abedru 9%, but still, and Emma said in ABT 2004, the same thing, and that's 2025, the same thing. Emma, Nigeria head aye statistics be ever WhatsApp. The posting all me start or say, Mami who kenke, just common kenke. How much is the ball of kinky in your area? And we say imitate more a bit 7 cities, 5 cities, any other. I didn't say a born out near to kinky 204. No. The same thing, Bibian say, Calipo, the same 5 cities now. Bibian say, and more, the same and more. 5 kg, yeah, that's what 80 cities, 70 cities now. Bibian says, I just say, you won't mind. But if you claim at the tenure, and I don't see Nemantis will be a abba baby. Me huntis will be a abba. Was always said $1 here as so as here to whom ama inflation is what to boom. I was saying can name also a tip boom, but your huntis will be a abba. Nancy Ghana, your Pompey Sika, Edura, Cedi Nemo. Sebia Silbanya was against the dollar. Na eno, Anna Dr. Domfeh, Wabe exposed at 2 force and energy on which Remy said. A baby no omuye serious is pumping more money just to keep dollar coming down. Just a buy our bond, our winning the oil.
Less into the system. There was some misleading information out there that appeared to suggest that Ghana, the city, Ghana city is performing strongly because of fiscal consolidation. That is a lie. That is a lie and misleading. The main reason why our city is doing very well is because of the excessive intervention from Bank of Ghana. And we see anytime the bank comes out to pump more dollars into the system, cedi becomes the strongest currency in the world. When they relax a bit, cedi becomes the worst performing currency in the world. And that's what we have seen. My brothers and sisters, I want to conclude and say that the economy is now doing well. No doubt about that. It is doing well. No doubt about that. But the reason why it is doing well, the attribution, it is very important. We tell people that it's not so much because this government is doing something so special or something so new. Indeed, after the 2022 economic turmoil, the then Minister of Finance, Honorable Ken Ufuriata, initiated what became known as PCP, whose COVID and a program for economic growth. And that is what was adopted by IMF. And currently, that is the main fiscal agenda. Since the new government came, we are still under an IMF, and that is what we are implementing. Nothing new, except that the new governor came to me so mad because the old government left $8.98 billion in the reserves. Brothers and sisters, I want to say that the moment you see cedi appreciating, you should only be happy if the appreciation is because of the improvement in local production. When I talk about local production, the rice that we are eating, where are we getting them from? Thailand, with dollars, isn't it? Toothpick. We use dollars to go abroad and what import what? Toothpick, right? What I'm wearing now, almost everything on me now is what? Imported. All the things around us, imported. That is why there's always excessive pressure on the local currency. Once we begin to do things well and we produce enough to eat, we are able to produce enough to eat and more rice, more poultry. And on this note, let me commend the president for Nkokwa Ketengete. It is positive. You know, if I like anything that will bring more food, bring more meat, you know, to cut down what we would have imported. And so if Ghana, we are able to produce more cars, as Nana Akufo-Addo also brought 6 car assembling plants. If you're able to produce more cars in Ghana, we are able to produce quality, suits like what I'm wearing. You know, we are able to do so many of these things here. People may no longer chase dollars as much as they are doing today to go and what? Import. And that is the major reason why Cedi will become what? Stronger. And once Cedi becomes stronger through that process, what are you doing? You are creating jobs for your people. Okay? You are creating jobs for your people because anytime you want to produce, you must definitely employ what? Engage what? Hands. Today. And I have said this almost everywhere that I go, that after teaching over the last 15 years at the tertiary level, and the last 30 years, all my life has been teaching. There are many I have taught at the university levels over 10 years, and they are still roaming about without work. So employment has become a problem. We can only address this by looking at the agricultural sector, producing more, and then trying to also work on the industrial sector, especially the manufacturing, to produce more. Once we are able to do this, what are you doing? You are cutting the demand for dollar. And in that process, when your Cedi becomes stronger, that is the Cedi that we are looking for. It's not the one the Bank of Ghana would come out anytime to push so much to create this artificial strength for the Cedi. What the Bank of Ghana is doing rather discourages what? Job creation, because it makes import cheaper. And therefore, people who otherwise would have produced here, seeing that import has become cheaper, would want to rather go outside there and import. So money, if what they are doing, if they continue with it, money are going to close down their businesses. And that is going to create more unemployment. That is not how we manage an economy. That is not how we manage an economy. So,
finance minister nsɛm a ɔkae no akyinye bi anim ɛne sɛ economy no egusu a as egyina baabi a yie, no doubt about that. Obi no betumi agye mo akyinye. Ghanaian economy since 1957 to date no enhyɛ da mo no ho modene bia ye mo bra nti na me gyina we makyera de all my life over 30 years and I'm makyera de na me 30 years mu about 15 years me dey akyera de tertiary institutions across Ghana makyera de universities be private ones and then the government ones. Na me kyera de UPS and sanitary 2014 meja akoleba na ya na ya me ya say ma de kyere nyina mu no ne nipa riba metri ni wo sometime na 10 years na wakosi obi a kyere na de usia na hene fa na wo ye adwuma na kyese na ade kyere na wo kyere no wantimi anya ho adwuma anje. Economy na be jobless economy. Your growth has always been jobless. We are not able to create jobs. The intimi create jobs no. The intimi create jobs ni nyina ne say ye sorry ade ebedi de ebedware de ebe no ye dwane kopɛ dollar ye de akwama no ne akokra e de aba. Mpran ya wugusu a wudi di amanfo a create no. You are creating jobs for them. Se na de ebedi de ebedware de ni be fra no ye kokra free amanone a na je say ye create adwuma ma amanone fo. Enu ti na adwuma intimi ni o man. Ti abai bi a wo ye serious o person oboa o man bi ano. Onko Bank of Ghana mko fa dollar metumu Cedi nya ho de ne me nyina ekoyi. Nyame no kwara ni finance minister nsɛm o kan no akyinye bi anim ene sɛ economy no egusu a as egyina baabi a yie, no doubt about that. Obi no betumi agye mo akyinye. Ghanaian economy since 1957 to date no enhyɛ da mo no ho modene bia ye mo bra nti na me gyina we makyera de all my life over 30 years and I'm makyera de na me 30 years mu about 15 years me dey akyera de tertiary institutions across Ghana makyera de universities be private ones and then the government ones. Na me kyera de UPS and sanitary 2014 meja akoleba na ya na ya me ya say ma de kire nyina mu no ne nipa bi ba metri ni wo sometime nam 10 years na wakosi obi a okire na de usia na hinifa na oye adwuma na chese na ade kire na okire no wantimi anya ho adwuma anje economy na be jobless economy your growth has always been jobless. We are not able to create jobs. The entity create jobs no. The entity create jobs ni nyina ne say yes sorry ade ebedi de ebedware de ebe no no ye dwane kope dollar ye de akwama no ya kokra e de aba mpran ya wugusu a wudi di amanfo a create no you are creating jobs for them se na de ebedi de ebedware de be fra no ye kokra free amanone a na je say ye create adwuma ma amanone fo enu ti na adwuma entimi ni o man ti abai bia we serious person oboa o man bia no onko Bank of Ghana nko fa dollar metumu emasi di nya ho de ne.
Doc, you made a wild statement that the Bank of Ghana is pumping dollars into the economy. That's why the cedi is getting
So
appreciation.
let me say that.
The question in the public now is that if that was possible during the MPP time, why didn't they do it?
Yeah, why didn't they do it? Have you also asked yourself why cedi stay so stable from the year 2027 all the way to 2022? 2027 January, $1 was going for 4 cedis 20 pesos. Okay, and by January 2022, it was 6 cedis 20 pesos. 61 good months, cedi was almost at a standstill. That's one of the best records we have had from 1957. President Kufuor under President Kufuor cedi did very well, but if you pick President Kufuor out and you look for the data from 1957, you see that one of the years that we saw cedi staying so stable for long was between January 2022, January 2017 to January 2022. 2022, Bank of Ghana had raises at the beginning of the year, had raises of 9.9 billion. This be very good education to Ghanaians. Bank of Ghana had total raises of 9.9 billion. And that was enough to cover the city, because if you look at our reserves, we hardly even hit 10 billion, but we were almost getting 10 billion. At that time, and at that month, January 2022, $1 was going for how much? 6 cedis 20 pesos. Then all of a sudden, before we could say that, there was crisis all over the world. USA, we go there to buy. They recorded their highest inflation. I think about 4 months after February, they recorded their highest inflation in 40 years. Germany recorded its highest inflation in 70 years. Prices all over the world went up. Okay, fuel. Today we buy fuel at $64. Today, it went, once upon a time, it went up to $121. So individuals who have to go and buy fuel, if they were using $64 to get 1 barrel, sorry, $72 to get 1 barrel in January, and then they hit 121 somewhere in June, July. My brother, I'm asking you, how much more dollars would they need to bring 1 barrel of crude oil, refined oil to Ghana? They will need from 72 to what? 121, a chunk. Today, $1 had dropped even below the 72 it was in January 2022. Now, when that happened as well, importers, if they were buying some goods at $1, today it is $2. When they are going to buy, how much do you want them to send? They will need more dollars. So there was excessive pressure on the city. And Bank of Ghana did very well, because let me say that it's not only this government that is intervening in the market. It is a tradition. Our exchange rate system is what? Managed floating exchange rate. The Bank of Ghana has been coming periodically to the market to supply, to help cedi stay stable.
So, Doc, you mentioned that it is artificial cedi appreciation.
So let me flow. And so the point I'm trying to say is that by July 2022, $1 was 8 cedis 20 pesos. At that time, Bank of Ghana, you are saying that why didn't they do it? And I'm telling you that they did it. By July 2022, $1 was 8 cedis 20 pesos. But August, September, October, Bank of Ghana had run out of reserves, almost. And so they didn't have the capacity to now protect the city again. Because at the beginning of the year, they had 9.9 billion, which is one of the highest nominal reserves we have had as a country. Okay? By July, it has moved to 8 cedis 20 pesos. So people ask this question, and I forgive them because they don't understand the monetary economics. If you do, you realize that Bank of Ghana is not only today, they've been intervening in the market. And when they did, they were able to protect the city in spite of all the pressure that came on the city as I'm talking about, and maintain the city around 8 cities 20 pesos by July. By August, September, October, because we didn't have enough dollars, city depreciated and $1 was going for 17 cities in the forex market, and then over 15 in the interbank. Okay, that is what we are making reference to, because they didn't have much capacity to intervene. Now, Bank of Ghana, when they got the dollars, they intervene. Yeah, one Bank of Ghana got the dollars. They what? Intervene, and Cedi dropped from 17, from 15, I should say 15 in the interbank market, and the 17 to 8 cities by December. So if you ask the question, why didn't they do it? They did it, but it was artificial. When Bank of Ghana comes out to supply, it is artificial. That is why, even though Bank of Ghana, when they got the dollars, they pumped so much, and by December that year, when you people say it went to 17, it dropped down to 8 cities. By December 2022, go and check. Go and check. So they did it. I don't want to hear people say, why didn't they do it? They did it. But that approach is not what sustainable. That is why when we entered 2023 and 2024, Cedi again depreciated. It's not sustainable, because once the way how they did it to bring it down from 15 in the interbank and to 8 from October to December, if they had more dollars to supply, they could have done that. And that is the same approach today we are seeing.
Chere wadwe mame e comment section. Ayi Penyah Block Media. Agra.